Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to do confetti overlay on a video in Expo React Native for Android. So let's get started. So first this is just a cheat sheet which I have created. So first we need to create a project. Now there are different templates available for Expo React Native. I will be using this blank TypeScript template, but feel free to use whatever you feel like. So I'm inside my workspace directory. I'll just clear everything out and I'll just paste this particular command. Now I'm using this template because it has less boilerplate code and also it has a TypeScript support. Now I'll just name my app as my app. You can give it whatever name you feel like. Okay, then we need to write some native code. For that we need to generate an Android folder as well. So again, I'll just open this particular documentation. I'll select Android device, I'll select development build. I have disabled ES. I will go to Mac OS. I've already installed Watchman. I've already installed Cas Zulu as well. I have set the Java home path as well. I have installed Android Studio. So I have already done all this setup, so I won't go through this. You can refer the documentation. I've done this as well and done this as well. Then we need to run this particular command. So I'll just copy this and then I'll just cd to my app and I'll paste it over here. So yeah, now let's just wait for this to finish. Then again just scroll down and then you will have to copy this particular command. Again we'll have to wait some time. Again, now we can just paste this command. Now this will actually generate the Android folder for us. Now for the last step in this particular command, I will get an error. I mean, it is not really an error, it's because I don't have an Android emulator installed. And okay, I think, okay, let's just wait. I mean, it asks you to run your app and it shows you the actual device it's going to run on. I don't have an Android emulator installed and I'm not sure if my real Android device is connected to my PC or not. So yeah, anyways, let's just wait for this to finish. In the meantime, we need to also create a separate module where we will have to actually write the code. So for that, you can just copy this particular URL over here and open it inside a new tab. And again, I'll just copy this particular thing. So yeah, let's just wait for this to finish. I think it is already running my app on a real device. I guess it has finished building the app. So I'll just wait for this to finish. I think it is running my app on my real device. It has already connected it to it. I think in your case you will see something like select an Android emulator or something like this. But yeah, for me it has already started running it. You don't need to run it now because we haven't written any code. Once we have written code, you will again have to run it from the start, because we can't just do hot reload or fast refresh, because we will be writing native code for this. Okay, so I'll just stop this. In case if you have this running, keep it running. I'll just do Control C to stop it. Okay, because I don't want to run it now. No point in running it now. In your case it will ask you to run it or you select a device, something like that. So don't select a device, just do Control C. Now then we'll paste this particular command. So this will actually create the module for us. So for this I'll just click on enter. If you want to change this name, you can change it, but if you're doing this for the very first time, it's better you follow what I'm doing. So I'll just press enter. Okay, and it has created this module for us. Now what I'll do is I'll just open the project, write down all the code, then I'll come back and explain it to you. So I have written down all the required code which is necessary. Let's go through it step by step. So first you need to install few dependencies. You'll have to go to package.json and you need to install React Native video. So you can just go to your application and just do npm install React Native video, as well as you need to install Expo image picker for picking video files as well. So yeah, just paste it over here. I have already run this, so I won't run it again. So once you have added this to dependency, you will have to go to app.json over here, and here we have till here you will have all this stuff by default present. After this web JSON object, you have to add this plugins array, and again this I have just copy pasted it from the documentation. So for Expo image picker, it requires this photos permission, even though we are not really using it. And for React Native video, we need to enable Android notification control, Android extension. So yeah, make sure you add all this stuff as well. Okay, Once this is done, you will have to go to our modules, my module, and here you will have to go to src my module.ts, and here again these three methods are present by default. I have only added this method called apply effect, which takes a value. Now this value will be the path of the selected video, and it returns a promise. Now this should also return the path of the transform video so that we can play it, right? But for sending the return type, whenever it is an async await function, we use something called an event handler in Expo React Native. So they have already defined it for us. So here you can see this is all code present by default. I have not done anything. Only thing which I have done is that I have added this progress as well, because apart from getting the value or the path or the URI of the transform video, uh, if the video is very large, like overlaying a confetti might take a bit of time. That's why we want the progress thing as well. And again, I will explain you later on why it is string, because we are sending two values. One is the progress state, which can be 0, 1 and 2, and the other one is the actual progress, which goes from 0 to 100. That's why I've kept it as string. So make sure you add this progress thing over here as well. Rest everything I have kept it as it is by default. Then you will have to go to the Android folder, and first you will have to go to build.gradle file. Just scroll down at the very end, and you will have to add this dependency block, and here you will have to add media3 transformer as well as this media3 effect dependency. Then you will have to create a file called confetti overlay.kt. Now don't copy my package. You will have to write your own package name. If you don't know what your package name is, just go to my module.kt, scroll up, and this is your own package name. So just copy this package name and paste it over here. Rest everything you can copy what I have written. Now even I don't understand much of it. Even I have copy pasted this code from Stack Overflow, so I won't go into the details of it. I'll simply scroll through this file. Feel free to pause the video wherever you feel like and just copy the code. I'll simply scroll through this. So yeah, pause the video wherever you feel like. Okay, and here you can see these are the confettis which we have added. So you can change this to whatever you feel like. Again, I'll simply scroll through this one more time. Feel free to pause the video wherever you feel like and just copy the code. Okay, then over here we have to go to my module.kt. Again, this file is present by default, but here you will have to add few imports. Again, feel free to pause the video and just copy all these imports. We require all these imports which is necessary. Then we have to annotate this with unstable API, because at least at the time of me recording this video, this media3 transformer APIs are still bit unstable. Then here we extend transformer.listener as well. So here we override on completed as well as on error. Then here we have the file name as well as file path. Here is our handler. Then here is our progress holder as well. Here we get hold of our context as well as our activity. Then here we have an array list of effect as well. Now again, this code is present by default. I have not changed anything. So yeah, simply scroll through this. So here I have defined this apply effect function. So this is the same method which we have created inside this my module.ts file, and here we take a value, and then we just do a coroutine, like coroutine on a main thread. And firstly we add the confetti overlay effect to our effect array. Then we create a transformer as well. Then we create an input media item. Then we create an edited media item. Then we create external file. Then we start the transformation. Then here we start tracking the progress state. So here you can see with the help of this send event on change. Now if you check the original this method which was defined present, which was present by default, I have used this particular thing to understand how to send stream of data from native Android side to React Native side. So that's what I'm using over here. The only thing is, instead of value I'm using progress over here, which we had defined inside my module.type.ts. And here you can see I'm sending the progress state as well as the actual progress. Once I show you guys the output, things would be more clearer related to this part. Also do note, if you are doing any kind of logging, console log inside your JavaScript code, these will not be visible inside Metro Bundler. Then here we have this progress state. and here we just do handler dot post delay, and here I have added 500 milliseconds delay. Then here we create an external file as well. So again I have copy pasted this code from Stack Overflow. Then this is the code for saving the file to external storage. Again I have just copy pasted this code, so I'll simply scroll through this. Feel free to pause the video wherever you feel like and just copy this code. Then we are overriding the on completed callback because we were extending transformer.listener at the top. So if the file name is not equal to null and file path is not equal to null, then we get the URI of the video which has been saved to external storage, and we send the URI back to React Native side. So here we are using the value property, and in case of error I'm just displaying a toast message, but yeah, feel free to use whatever you feel like. Then if you come over here inside app.tsx, I have just imported image picker, I have imported use state as well as use effect from React. Then here I have imported React Native video as well, and here I have imported my module as well. Then here we have this set video URI use state. Inside use effect I have just added my module dot add listener on change. So here I just log all the progress to the console, and if the data dot value is undefined, not equal to undefined, not equal to null, and not equal to empty, then only we set the value. So this will be the value of the like the path of the transform video which we set to our use state variable. Okay, so that's what we are listening over here. Then regarding the UI, I have just created one touchable opacity, and on click of it we just do image picker dot launch image library async media type of video, allow multiple selection is false, and if the result is cancelled, not cancelled I mean, then we just call the apply effect which we have defined and just pass the URI to it. And if the video URI is not equal to empty, then we just display a video element, pass the video URI, and here we just log it to the console, and this is the style for displaying it, and these are the controls. For some reason when I was testing it in the demo, the controls were not visible, like they were not proper. I don't know why. Maybe there is some bug with React Native video, or maybe it might work in your case. So yeah, let's see the output. Hopefully, yeah, that's it. Related to code. If you have any questions related to code, do let me know in the comments. So now let's see the output. Okay guys, so here is the output. So I have this pick video button. I'll just click on it. I'm mirroring my device, so that's why I have opened Android Studio, because my USB of my Android device does not get connected to my Mac. That's why I'm using Wi-Fi debugging to mirror my Android device using Android Studio. So I'll just click on this pick video button. It will open the video picker for me. Here you can see I have two videos. I'll just select the second video, which is 15 seconds long, and here you can see it is also displaying this progress state. I'll come back to this later on. You won't see this inside the Metro bundler, because in latest React Native version they have completely removed this console logs from Metro bundler. You will have to open Chrome or Safari to view this console logs. So yeah, unfortunately that's the thing. So here you can see the output is ready, and it has started overlaying confetti on our video. Now I'm mirroring my device, so the output is a little laggy, so just bear with me over here. Also if I just click on pick video again, here you can see now there are three videos. So the video has been saved to external storage as well, so the user can use it whenever he or she feels like. Now coming back to this particular code of this progress thing, like I have explained it to you, I'll just go through it one more time. If you go to my module.kt, over here we are logging, like we are sending this progress state as well as the actual progress back to React Native side, right? And inside app.tsx I'm just logging it to the console, sorry, this progress thing as well as this final thing. So that's what you are getting it over here. So here you can see it starts from 1. So this we are sending two values, right? If I just show it to you again, we are sending the progress state as well as the actual progress. So the progress state can be 0, 1 and 2, and the actual progress will be from 0 to 100. So if you see the progress state, it starts from 1, and at the very end it goes to 0. So this is an indication to you that the video has finished processing. So if you are displaying a progress bar, you can stop displaying that progress bar as well. And the actual progress, like it is mentioned, it goes from 0 to 100. So it starts from 0, but it sometimes, like for most of the time, it doesn't reach till 100. Sometimes it even stops at 80 if your video is very short. Okay, so be careful. Like I mentioned, this 0 is an indication to you that the video has finished processing, so you can stop displaying the progress bar. Now here it is undefined once the video has completely finished processing. Or don't use this undefined, so use only this 0 to know that video has finished processing, and this is the data value which we were printing over here. So once we have the data value, this becomes undefined. That's why. So hopefully you got the point. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.